Hello guys, this is Roger69501 and welcome to my channel. Well, the comic album going on display is Social Country issue number 2 from DC Vertigo. Now check out this cover. Check out this cover. Social Country. I have the whole first volume. Actually the whole series. It's supposed to be a full series, but some people did not like it. And it got canceled on issue number 12 because it was really good. It is good. And then after that, the writer, he says that he was going to publish it in some other company. I'm not sure it was on Image or Dark Horse, one of those independent company, which I have the full series. I think there are only 6. I think it is. The third volume, I think, is six issues, I think, or 10. I don't quite remember, but I know I have one of the boxes. But Social Country is really good. It's really good. Well, on this video, I'm gonna give you my thoughts for a 3-part story arc named Cold Days. Now, part 1, issue number 51. Check out this cover. Awesome cover, huh? A lot of orange. Part 2, issue number 52, Batman vs. Bruce Wayne. Check that out. Awesome. Excuse me. And part 3, Cold Days, Batman issue number 53, Dark Knight No More. Check out this cover. Awesome. Well, the story. Well, basically the story is really simple, but I have to say that I really like it. I really like the story. It's the type of story that once I start and I like it, I cannot stop until I finish it. Well, that's how this was. Okay, part 1. Well, the story is that 3 women, they found dead. And the 3 boys, they were cold beyond natural ways, and happened to be done by Mr. Freeze. Batman take the case, chase Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze being put on jail, and he goes to a trial. And before that, Mr. Freeze signed up a confession that yes, I killed those 3 women because I was experimenting on them so I can find a cure for my wife. The ironic about this story is that Batman is one of the members of the 12 members of the jury on Mr. Freeze's court case. So that's kind of like ironic. As Batman, he apprehended. Now as Bruce Wayne, he has to be part of the jury that's going to convict him guilty or innocent. The thing is that once that the court starts and the district attorney say his part and the defender tell his part and Mr. Freeze say his part, well, the 12 juries, they go to the secret room to discuss the case, to find out whether he's guilty or not. The thing is that everybody says, well, Mr. Freeze is guilty. That's it. All jury member says he's guilty. So the main guy says, okay, everybody who believes that Mr. Freeze is guilty, everybody raise your hand. So everybody raised their hand except one. And that one that did not raise their hand happens to be Bruce Wayne. I know, I was like, when I saw the end of it, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, it's not supposed to have Batman, Bruce Wayne as Batman apprehend Mr. Freeze because he knows that he's guilty. Now that he's Bruce Wayne, he says that he's not guilty. The thing about this story that I like is, well, it tells the writer got the ability to see the Batman action from a different point of view. As a jury, as an outsider, being part of normal people that they are not superheroes. So he cannot say, well, I'm Batman, I know that I'm right. So being on the court make him doubt that make himself see that he did not do a good job investigating those three women's death. So he knows that Mr. Freeze is not guilty. So this story reminds me of a graphic novel came out back in the 90s. It's called Devil's Advocate, which Batman apprehend the Joker. The Joker goes to trial and to condemn him to death. That was it. That was like, yeah, finally. The thing is that Batman knows that the Joker, even though that he's crazy in all the crimes that he has committed, he knows that that specific crime that he's been condemned to death, the Joker is innocent. Batman knows that. The Joker knows that. But he plays guilty. He confessed about that crime, so that way they can put him to sleep, because I guess the Joker, he's tired of being the Joker. So he said, yeah, I did it, whatever. Put me to sleep. Yeah, whatever. So the whole graphic novel goes that Batman have to prove that Joker is innocent. It's kind of like, I call the stories the ironic story, because it is ironic. So back to Batman. So once that Bruce Wayne raises his hand and say, well, not guilty, so is when the story starts. Now the interesting part starts. So Bruce Wayne starts to talk to the jury's members to question about Batman's way that he investigates the cases. Now every member of the jury believes, some of them, being saved by Batman. One way or the other, they have been saved by Batman. So to them, Batman is always right, like they say. So you believe that Batman is kind of like a god. And Bruce Wayne says, well, I believe Batman was God. There's no way that he can be wrong. There's no way. He's Batman. He's the world's greatest detective. But Bruce Wayne came out with a unique argument that makes everybody think. Batman can be God all you want, but at the end of the day, Batman is just a man. He's human, and just being that human, he will err. He will make mistakes. That's it. It's human nature. We, as human nature, or human beings, is our human nature to make mistakes. That's it. We cannot avoid it. We might overthink, and think whatever move we're gonna make. Eventually, sooner or later, we're gonna make a mistake, whether it's small or big. But the point is that it's human nature. We cannot help it. So that's the ironic about this story. You see, Bruce Wayne is questioning Batman, and that's how I love it. I mean, I was like, wait a minute. So Tom King took the story from a different point of view, looking Batman from the outside, which had to have a lot of imagination. I mean, how can you see? I mean, if Batman is real, and Bruce Wayne he's questioning himself as Batman. So that means that Batman and Bruce Wayne are two different split personality. Just right there. Maybe that's why he's going to be part of the Heroes in Crisis. Right there, Tom King just told me, well, Bruce Wayne has a split personality. That he has to question himself on this story. So the thing is that Bruce Wayne finds out that he being Batman on this particular case, well, he did it all wrong. Even though on the end it was right, but he did it all wrong. So he wants to prove the jury that Mr. Freeze is innocent, even though all of them believe that Mr. Freeze is guilty, because they all believe that Batman was right. Because all these years, Batman always been right until this. Like I said a few moments ago, it's human nature to make mistakes, And this is the mistake that Batman did, even though he can be the world's greatest detective. So that's half, I would say that's the 75% of the story. Now, I wish that the story would instead to be 3 issues, would be 4, that he can go a little bit more profound on the story. I mean, kind of like explore more Bruce Wayne judging Batman, actually Bruce Wayne judging himself. That would be interesting. But I guess 3 issue story, it was good. I mean, it's great story. It was enough. But to me, since I like stories like this, well, I wish it would be 1 more issue. Just for the hell of it. But what the heck. So the thing is that, so this issue part 2 goes that Bruce Wayne is questioning everything that Batman did. His investigation, how he beat up people, how and why, how he captured the bad guys, and so on and so forth. Part 3, issue number 53. Check out this card. Now, this one's good. So here we get to find out that, so he questioned one of the jury member, one of the ladies. I think her name is let's see if I can find her name here. I think her name is Missy. Missy. So she's wearing a cross. And Bruce Wayne asked her, "Do you believe in God?" They said, "Oh, well, yes, of course. I've been going to church for 20 years." And she asked Bruce Wayne, "Do you also believe in God, right?" And Bruce Wayne says, "Yes, that's just it. I used to." So he tells the story again when his parents died, when his parents got killed by that murder. When he said, "Well, I used to go to church with my father every Sunday and my mom." And then how it just happened. Why my father, why my parents got killed? Where was God? Well, he don't say that, but I can more or less, if he was real, his reaction will be. So the thing is that he says, "Well, the only God I know is Batman. I used to see Batman as a god, just like the rest of the jury member," which is kind of odd. I was like, "Wait a minute, Batman's a god?" And Bruce Wayne says, "Well, Batman is above all of us. He's kind of like a god." But he was a god. But like I said again, here he established, even though that Batman is a god or can be a god, or we might think that he's a god, he's still a man. He's still human. He's still human nature to make mistakes. We cannot avoid it. It's human nature. That's it. Just like breathing, we cannot avoid breathing because we die. So we cannot avoid making mistakes because, hey, whether it's small mistake or big mistake, doesn't matter. Whoever's going to be making mistakes. So the thing is that Bruce Wayne is trying to change all the jury members' mind from guilty to innocent. So now Batman starts to deliberate his story about how he sees Batman, what Batman did, to the point where he apprehends Mr. Freeze. And the way that Bruce Wayne explained it, Batman did it all wrong because he was blind. He doesn't say it here, but he was blind. The thing is that Bruce Wayne acknowledged that, well, recently I went through some personal pain that I'm still recovering or still working on it, which happens to be Catwoman, that he did not marry her. So the thing is that everybody noticed that he's kind of like, he feels down, and they ask him, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yeah, I'm okay." So he go back to the story, how Batman did what he did, or how he did it. And while he's explaining all that, you can see the art that he's thinking about Catwoman. I know. I was like, wait a minute, how he can be judging Batman or judging himself while he's thinking about Catwoman at the same time. So I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, Tom King and the artist, of course, they they really must have kind of like a brainstorm how to come up with this, that the art will be the opposite of the story, it's, and part of the story at the same time. That's how I see it. But anyway, back to the main story. The thing is that once that everybody, once that the Bruce Wayne tells everybody his story, so that everybody deliberate that Mr. Freeze is innocent. Okay. After that, Bruce Wayne calls Alfred and says, "Look, I need you to bring me the suit, not the one I was using with Catwoman. I want the original one." And the original one, well, is right here. This one here. Check that out. Awesome, huh? And that's how the story ends. That's why I felt like it would be a lot more fun if Tom King would make the story of 4 issues. It will, and I kind of he will go deep on. Oh, I would like to see the part when the jury will deliberate to the judge. Well, we found the member of the jury. We found Mr. Freeze innocent, and we can see how the district attorney got pissed off. How can you say that? And this and that, the consequences about how Mr. Freeze will feel, because Mr. Freeze, even though that he wrote a confession, he said, "Yes, I killed those 3 women because I was experimenting on them. How to bring my wife back to life, or cure my wife, because his wife is not dead. She's kind of like suspended animation. So she's kind of like half dead, half alive, undead. Yeah. So I would like to see that part when on the court, when they deliberate their, when the jury would tell the judge, well, Mr. Freeze is innocent, this and that. That would be fun. There's also a part here where the thing is that Batman, on the 3 dead bodies, found that the brains were very cold. Only Mr. Freeze can do. The thing is that the police did not catch that. They didn't see it. So Batman is saying, Bruce Wayne says, how can Batman see something that the police did not do it? Can it possible that somebody did it and blame Mr. Freeze? Also, why Mr. Freeze, even though he was on parole, he got his suit on and his cold gun? He knew that Batman was going up to him. Maybe Mr. Freeze wants to talk to Batman, and Batman beat Batman that he punched first and asked questions later. Well, so this court thing, being part of the jury, makes Bruce Wayne to question himself a lot. Why I did this? Why I did that? I should have waited. I should not act so fast. So I believe that all those questions came into Bruce Wayne's mind, and to me, Tom King, he knocked it out of the park with this 3-issue story. It's not a big story, just if you read and you read what's between the lines, to me, I found this story to be really interesting, very, very, very good. And also, so there are a few more things that Bruce Wayne questioned, which I'm not going to mention it because, well, it's more the same. But I would give this story arc 5 out of 5, even though it's a 3-issue story arc. I really love it. The aspect of Bruce Wayne questioning himself as Batman. I never read that before. How Bruce Wayne's looking at Batman from the outside, being in the court, be part of the jury that is going to condemn a guilty person, a person that himself as Batman apprehend moments before or days before or whatever. So that's just kind of like, it's kind of like Bruce Wayne's looking himself in the mirror. It's like Bruce Wayne looking at the mirror and the reflection under the mirror is Batman, or vice versa. So he's questioning himself. And he get opportunity to open up about it with members of the jury. which I believe he never had that chance, besides being with Alfred or Nightwing or member of his Bat family. But with regular person, I don't know if he ever had that chance. And I would give it 5 out of 5 because it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I did not like the end of it, but other than that, it was awesome. So I wish I could see the part, like I said before, when they go to the court and deliberate their verdict, their verdict, and see everybody's reaction. Well, I did not get that. But I know I said 5 out of 5. Nah, just because I didn't like the end, it's not a 5 out of 5. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. Yeah. And the cover for this issue, for this story, will be issue number 52. Batman versus Bruce Wayne. Awesome. So I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. Excuse me. Well, guys, this is it. I hope that you like this video. Too late. Bye.